Okay, now we're going to go one step further. So we've identified what congruency means. We've identified what the corresponding parts are. We've identified labeling the triangle and then filling in what the measures are. Now, they're going to tell us the triangles are congruent, same shape, same size. But now we're going to find your favorite algebra, x, y, and z. So I look at this, it says the triangles are congruent. Well, I see that UV, first and second letter, corresponds to TS. So I know that these two sides are congruent, so I'm going to put tick marks there. Remember, sides use tick marks. If I look at UW, UW is first and last. I'm going to use two tick marks to differentiate from the other. UV is the first and last. TR is first and last. So I see that those are corresponding. So therefore, 57 and 5y minus 33, I use three tick marks to differentiate. So now see what happens. When I label them this way, I now see, okay, I can set 12x minus 7 equal to the other side with a tick mark, which would be 53. And then I have a two-step equation and I find x. So I would add 7, get 60, bring down my 12x, divide by 12, x equals 5. See how helpful that is? Labeling your triangle, then you instantly see how to set up your equation. So now, I need to find y. So I see 5y minus 33. And I'm going to set that equal to the corresponding side that I marked, 57. Again, now I'm going to solve for y. Let's do the opposite, add 33. I get 90. Bring down 5y, divide by 5. Y equals 140, 18. Okay? I know I'm going fast. You can always pause this, go back, rewatch it. Okay? Now I gotta find z. So I'm gonna go over here and do z. So z is 3z plus 14 equals, it's two tick marks. I labeled two tick marks 50. Get z by itself. Subtract 14. Bring down 3z. 50 minus 14 is 36. Divide by 3. Z equals, this is kind of a nice trick. I see 3 goes into 3 once. 3 goes into 6 twice. So I found x is 5, y is 18. Z is 12 by my background knowledge that I've now learned about congruency. So what I want you to do is now, instead of sides, number 7, if you notice, number 7 has this symbol, which means degrees. So I want you to now find x, y, and z with angles. Do the same process. I use tick marks for sides. Well, remember we use congruency symbols for angles. So I'll give you one example. If I look at angle P, P is the first letter of the other is C. So I'm going to use one congruency line for 36 degrees, one congruency line for angle C. So I know that these are congruent, okay? Again, H is the middle. I'm going to use two congruency lines to differentiate. And then H corresponds to N. That'll have two lines here. And therefore, angle S corresponds with F. Now I want you to pause, find X, Y, and Z. Okay, please try it, or else how is this going to help you for your homework? All right, pause it, try number 7 right now, and then we'll go over it, okay? All right, hopefully you paused it and tried it. Now, let's say, okay, if I look at x, I see it's 6x minus 29 is set equal to n. They both have two congruency lines, 115. If I add 29, 9, 10, 14, so x is going to equal, when you divide by 6, goes in there twice, 24. Is that right? right. X equals 24. Huh? I had to double check. Okay. Now, let's look at y, because why not? I know you love that joke. Ooh, if I look at y, I have 3y minus 1 equals, I don't know that yet, but I can find it. We found what x is, so why not plug in x equals 24 into 6x minus 29? So 6 times 24 minus 29. It might be helpful if I had a calculator. So let me grab a calculator. All right, so we found x. I'm plugging it in. 6 times 24, subtract 29, you get 115. So I now found, by plugging in x, that h is 115 degrees. And actually, that's a way to check my work, because corresponding to h is 115. Well, now I'm given two angles. I can find the third. So I'm going to take 180 degrees in every triangle, subtract 115, and subtract 36. And I find that angle S is 29 degrees. So I now know 3y minus 1 equals 29. Then I add 1 on both sides. 30 divided by 3, y equals 10. Okay? All right, let me erase this. We'll find z. Let's see here. Z is 4z minus 32. Set it equal to 36. So opposite subtract is add. I get 68. Set equal to 4z. Divide by 4. 4 goes into 6 once with 2 left over. 4 goes into 28 7 times. Okay? 6 was about sides, 7 was about angles, but notice we always set them equal to each other, because congruency means they're all congruent, all the same measure. The corresponding angles and sides are the same measure. Okay, let's look at one more. Okay. Now, number 8. Instead of them giving you the picture, well, you get to have some fun and you get to draw the picture. So if I look at this, it tells me that two triangles are congruent. I'm visual. I'm going to draw these triangles. So I have two triangles, DEF, whoops, J, we need to be consistent, DEF, JKL. And then they tell me they're congruent, so I know all sides are equal, corresponding sides are equal, all corresponding angles are equal. It tells me DE is 18, EF is 23, DF is 9x minus 23. So notice I'm just looking. I stopped here and I drew a picture, and now I'm labeling what they told me. So I keep going. JL, 7x minus 11. JK, 3y. JK, 3y minus 21. Then it says find x and y. Okay. Well, I see that DF and JL correspond. I could even look at my statement. DF and JL correspond. So I know that these are equal to each other. They said they're congruent triangles, so I know the sides are equal. And then I solve for x. So I'm going to move the smaller number over. 9 minus 7 is 2x. Bring down negative 23. Whoops. And my negative 11. Add 23. Move my constants to the right. I have 2x equals 23. Even this messes with my brain sometimes. 12 divided by 2, x equals 6. Ta-da! Okay, so I found x, now let's find y. I see y is 3y minus 21, corresponding to jk, which is 3 minus 21 is de, which is 18. This one's better, it's a two-step equation. So I add 21, bring down 3y, if I add this, I get 39. Again, the same trick. I see 3 goes into 3 once, 3 goes into 9 3 times. And it just said find x and y, and you're done. That's it. That's all. Okay? So, I want you to try 9. Set up the triangle in number 9. Set up your triangles in number 9. Label what they give you, and try it out. Try it out, okay? All right, pause it. Okay, hopefully you paused and tried it. So now let's take a look. Hopefully you paused it. Okay, so it says QRS and MNP are congruent. I'm going to draw the triangles over here. I like pictures. I am visual. You may have drawn your triangle in a different pattern. I chose QRS this way, so I'm consistent with my next one. Now, they proceed to tell me QR is 11, QS is 15, MP is 2x plus 1. Now they gave me angles. Angle S is 84. Well, if S is 84, then I know corresponding to S is P, so this is also 84. Angle R is 32. R is 32. If R is 32, corresponding to R is N, so I know these two are 32. And this is cut off. I could just do the math real fast, but angle M is 17y minus 4. Or angle, goodness gracious, what is it? Angle M is 17y minus 4. 17y minus 4, that's the angle. Okay, well, for this triangle, I'm not given angle Q, but I can find it. I can add these two angles together, 84 and 32. I get 116. Subtract from 180, because every triangle, the angles add up to 180. And so let's see, we get 64 degrees. So I now know, based on the triangle sum theorem, which is very handy, as you're seeing, when I'm given two angles, I found the third. So now I can solve. I see 2x plus 1 is a side, and corresponding to that is QS, which is 15. Now when you solve, you should get, see, subtract 1, you get 14. You should get x equals 7. Okay? Then, by triangle sum theorem, I now know what corresponds to angle M. 17y minus 4 equals 64 degrees. Add 4 on both sides, I get 68. Bring down 17y. Divide by 17. What is that? That is 4. And I'm sorry, this is for this problem. That was my bad. All right, that is it. I hope it helps, hope it makes sense. Please do your work. Please be good to the sub. Please straighten up desk and pick up after yourselves. Perhaps I'll bring something if it looks good. All right, get your work done. It's gonna be due Tuesday. All right, so y'all have a great weekend, and I'll see you then. All right.